Just had a guy stop talking to me because he said I had too many kids, but he knew how many kids I had when we first started talking. But he said the more he thought about it, he didn't want to take care of my two younger kids, the ones that are 5 and 6, the ones from my ex-husband. He said if he didn't want to take care of his responsibilities, why should I? Now, here's the thing. This particular person had a dependency issue. He was a recovering alcoholic, and I didn't hold it against him because I said he has a good job, he has a good head on his shoulders. I like where he was going in life, and who am I to judge someone off of their past or their past addictions? So for me personally, for you to sit there and say you don't want to deal with my kids, I didn't ask you to be their dad. I didn't ask you to take up any responsibility. In fact, let's normalize not wasting people's time, especially, or normalize saying this is what I'm bringing to the table and this is what you're bringing to the table. This is what you're struggling with. This is what I'm struggling with. And let's see if we want to do that. But don't waste people's time.
Here's another 35-year-old single mom making excuses as far as I'm concerned. Let's just go based off what she said, right? She said she had a guy stop talking to her because she had too many kids. Okay. At the same time, he knew how many kids she had when they first started talking. But he said the more he thought about it, he was like, I'm not going to take care of you and your two younger kids, especially the ones that are 5 and 6. It's crazy. He said if their own father didn't want to take care of them, then why should he? Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's just a moment of clarity, honestly. Now, her comeback is what got me. Her comeback is wild. She says he had a dependency issue, that he was a recovering alcoholic, but she didn't judge him. He had a good job, a good head on his shoulders, and she liked where he was going in life. So why bring that up? Why bring that up in this monologue here? So anyway, she gave him grace, according to her. And now she's upset because he doesn't want to take care of her and her two kids and the fact that he left, right? Let me break this down real quick. You didn't ask him to be a dad. I get it. You didn't verbally say it. But the moment you introduced him to your two little kids, especially the 5 and the 6-year-old, that's exactly what you asked him to consider. Fatherhood. See, you want men to see your baggage. You want them to see your broken marriage, your kids, and just ignore it? Pretend it doesn't come with any sort of real responsibility? He wasn't wasting your time. He was just being honest. He realized he's not ready or willing to step in where your ex-husband stepped the hell out. It's not an insult. Again, that's just having clarity. And the fact that you want a pat on your back for not judging him, for being a recovering alcoholic, congrats. You want credit for basic human decency while expecting a man to take on your past plus 2 kids. Let's normalize something here. Let's actually normalize something real. Men, women, we have a right to say no to being stepmom and dads, especially when the biological parent bails. That's not toxic. It's called boundaries. It's called setting boundaries. Because here's the truth. Raising another man's kids is one of the most thankless, emotionally draining positions a man can be in, especially when the real dad is still alive but checked out. You carry all the responsibility with none of the authority. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you discipline the child, you're overstepping. If you don't, you're just being negligent. You don't care. And let's not act like single moms always make space for real leadership. A lot of them still operate from a my kids, my rules mentality, while expecting a man to contribute like a full-time dad. On top of that, you're competing with a ghost of her ex financially, emotionally, and in the kids' minds. So yeah, maybe he thought he could handle it at first. But as reality set in, he realized honestly what every logical man should, that it isn't a fair deal. Not for your peace of mind, not for your wallet, and definitely not for your legacy. I'll say one thing before I end the video. Shout out to the fathers that stepped up, where all the real dads, the biologicals, stepped out. If you manage to make it work, you are a better man than me, because I could never tolerate it. I would never be able to put myself in that position again. I did it decades ago. It ain't never going to happen again. I know what it comes with. I know the struggle. It is emotionally traumatizing. And that's all I'm going to say about that. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one.